Duchess of Cambridge always looks wonderful, I'm sure you'll all agree. In fact, she's become something of a style icon to many people around the world. And it's interesting, isn't it, for those that have watched her over the years. I remember her being so shy at speaking events and, always hiding behind a fringe, very similar to the late Princess Diana, who obviously was a very shy person, but it took her a while to come out of her shell to be able to speak in public and, of course, meet and greet. A lot of people don't understand that side of the British monarchy, the royal role. They expect them to be instantly sort of confident and instantly knowledgeable about every single person that they meet. And let's not forget, there are very few of us who have that inbuilt confidence. It's nerve-wracking, isn't it, walking into a room completely of strangers with all the cameras there, picking a hole in every single thing you're wearing, the way your makeup looks, etc, etc. But now we can tell you that, of course, Catherine has had a ringing endorsement from Her Gracious Majesty the Queen. And let me explain the reason behind that. Seeing, of course, Catherine truly coming into her own, I think really at the recent Bond premiere in that dress, was that a showstopper or what? And of course, that really alerted all the fashion icons around the world that this woman had truly arrived on the fashion plate. And then, of course, designers were hammering at the doors of Kensington Palace wanting to lend her all kinds of clothes. And that's really what it's about, being seen in the right designers. I love the fact that Catherine does wear a lot of British designers, giving a big hand up for those that need it in our splendid country. But what is interesting to note is that Catherine has been awarded this really kind gesture by Her Majesty the Queen. Now, as you know, the Queen, when she comes out, is always looking wonderful in very strong colours. This was an idea put to her by the brilliant dresser Angela Kelly. And what's interesting with this particular idea is that, of course, she realised that as the Queen sadly got a little bit smaller, as people do when they get older, they have to be seen. Or as the Queen famously said, I have to be seen to be believed. Hence the big strong colours, the lemons, the pinks, the oranges, so that wherever you are in the crowd, you can spot that Her Majesty is there. Now, this is an idea that's been graciously passed on to Catherine, and you will have noticed this at the Royal Garden parties and other recent events where she's flying solo. But there is a bit of a stipulation within that. Whenever she's in an attendance at an event with Her Majesty the Queen, you will notice she tends to wear more subdued colours, rather less attention-seeking colours. But as Her Majesty pointed out, and this has come from a very good source, very close to Her Majesty and Catherine herself, this is really training in waiting, because one day Catherine will truly have all the eyes of the world on her, and she too will need to stand out. So by Her Majesty the Queen suggesting these little extras like weights in the hem of your dress, so that if you fly past somewhere or the wind catches up, it simply won't fly up around your legs, a la Marilyn Monroe in the 7-Year Itch. And of course the best makeup tricks that the Queen has learned from the very best makeup artists over the years. It's really nice, isn't it, when you get that girl Bond thing, particularly from a monarch to a monarch in the future. But Catherine herself told a very good source that, she's still rather shy, but having these empowered clothes simply do help her on these all-encompassing and, quite frightening at times, big events. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.